could.
You're
They
a bit
could
of a
do that
baby
to us
farm.
with
Haven't
the-
you popped out 5 children?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
a baby
mother.
farm.
Oh,
I
is
think
that
that's the
supposed to be an
ultimate form of
insult?
sex work, actually.
What's that?
I think that you popping out 5 children is the ultimate form of sex work, because without those
Why-
children,
Why
would your
are you
husband
using
provide for
degrading
you?
language? Wait a minute. Why
you
are
think
you
your
using
parents
degrading
are a
language?
baby farm?
Popping out babies. Popping out babies? This
Well,
is so
if
you're
you-
against.
Hi guys, my name is Favor,
I'm Zainab.
I'm Ella.
and today we'll be checking out a video together where Rachel Wilson from the Whatever podcast will be dismantling a fat, entitled lady who insulted her husband. So let's get right into the video.
So have you watched your husband talk to women on the podcast?
Yeah, I listen to every single podcast he does. I've also been on the podcast, and I debate women all the time myself.
Okay.
In fact, I was listening to you earlier describe how you think that men should pay for dates with women who want to be equal, don't want to give them children, and also want to have their own careers. And that absolutely blew my mind.
You don't think that men should pay on the first date?
Oh, I think they should pay on the first date for women who are going to be wives, not for women like you.
I wouldn't be a wife?
Not if you're going to refuse to give a man children, have to
It's
have your
not
own career working outside the home.
It's not refusing
and
to give
split
a
up the
man
chores. No,
children.
you're a roommate. Why would a man pay for you if you're just a roommate? Do you want to be equal or no?
Well, I have a conversation with my partner, and we've discussed having children.
Your
I'm not
partner.
taking away from them having children. We've decided together that having children is probably not the best idea.
If you're equal partners, why should he pay for your stuff?
Because a man at the beginning of the relationship should want to prove that they are invested in the relationship.
So what are you proving? Like, well,
I'm
he's
there.
If
proving-
I was a man,
You're
I'd be
there.
like, hell to the no, to the
Well,
no,
like,
no.
if it's
hell
not
to the
equal,
no.
what do you-
I'd be like,
he's
no,
there-
thank you, ma'am. You can pay for your own supersized McValue meal, and I will go find a woman who actually wants to be a wife if I'm going to pay for shit.
You
Like,
said you're
makes no sense.
You said your equal 50% is just being there. So does that mean he's doing 70% because he's paying and there too? You're both there.
No, but I think
So how is
it's
that not-
showing the investment. Women show investment with time, because if you do want to have children, there's limited time. But I think that women, they value different things. Like, they value when a man provides for them, especially on a first date, a first meeting.
And men value.
So you providing your glorious presence is what he's investing in.
If he values my presence, yes. I don't really see
Well,
a
I mean,
huge
simps are
issue.
going to simp. There's a simp out there, for everyone. So
I don't think
guess
that's the right way to go
it's
about it.
simping. That's the worst simping ever. I'm going to let you live at my house for like practically free and split the chores and pay for all your shit. That's simping. That's like the
Or just like
definition
a guy
of
who
simping.
genuinely likes you. Do you pay any bills with your husband?
No, but I'm a stay-at-home mom. I raise the children. I cook all the meals. Andrew has never done a house chore ever in 17 years. I do all of that. I bring him his food. I bring him his drinks. I keep track of his schedule. Basically do anything he needs me to do to help him, because that's my duty in the relationship. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about investment, I'm pretty invested. So he feels like, if I want this traditional wife role and I actually do all those things, then he feels like it's worth it to provide. But if I were to come in here and be like, well, I want my own career and you have to do your own laundry and we're going to split the chores 50-50 and I want to be equal, he'd be like, okay, bitch, then you can be equal and pay for all your shit. Like, why would he pay for my stuff? This makes no sense. You guys have to choose. Do you want to be strong, independent, equal women? Or do you want chivalry and protection and provision? You want the best of both. You want all of the rights and all of the privileges, and you want none of the duties and none of the responsibilities. And that's bullshit. It's like you didn't have a mom to tell you that this isn't how the world works or something. Like, my daughters don't get that nonsense from me. I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
So if
Why
your
are
daughters,
you so entitled? That's what I want to know.
if your daughters went on a first
entitlement
date,
from?
you want them to split the bill.
What's that?
If your daughters went on a first date, would you want them to split the bill?
Only if they're going to be feminists, which they're not, because I didn't raise them to be that way.
Okay.
That's how my parents' relationship is. It's like my mom does the same stuff that you described, and I think it's perfect. Like, my mom might not be contributing to rent, my dad makes the money, but she's contributing something else. She's doing a job that's just as equal as his job, but she's not getting paid because she's doing the household duties that
Returning the favor.
she's doing the same thing, whether or not it's being paid. Like, my parents are fortunate enough where my dad makes enough money where she doesn't have to work and she's able to provide those things. Therefore, it's the same thing as money, in my opinion, like spending time and working around the house.
Yeah,
And
I
she
mean, it
raised
even
us.
goes beyond division of labor. It's more than
Right.
about division of labor. Like, I have tremendous amount of respect for Andrew. He is the head of the household. He's the person that has the major burden of most of the responsibility. We've had a home invasion. He was the person who had to go deal with that and risk his life.
Obviously.
You know, he's worked 60, 70-hour weeks for years so that I could stay home and our kids didn't have to be raised by strangers in daycare. I mean, there's a massive amount of responsibility on this man, and he's extremely competent. He is a really loving, honorable man who has like very firm boundaries and stands by them and takes very good care of his family. So he gets the big piece of chicken, he gets the respect, he gets the love and the admiration, and because I'm loyal and I'm doing all those things, then he provides for me and protects me and the kids. And yeah, I mean, this is how it works. Now, if you don't want that and you want this egalitarian stuff where we're equal partners, he's my partner, then you got to pay for your own shit. And you got to do your own work, and you better, like, you know, take care of all your own stuff, and don't expect the man to go answer the bump in the night because you're strong, you're equal, right? If you're equal, you can go take care of that. You can go deal with the man that breaks in the middle of the night. You can change the tire in the rain. If the basement floods and there's sewage backing up into it, I guess you can go deal with that, right? So you just have to choose. Don't do this bullshit where you're like, we're equal partners, except for when there's anything dirty, dangerous, difficult. That's all his job. I just sit here and grace him with my glorious presence. That's entitlement, that's narcissism, it's terrible behavior, it's ruining society. And then on top of it, you feel no obligation to produce future generations. You want him to just let his lineage die with him. And you feel super entitled to that too. It's like,
I don't understand why you can't get the concept that I've talked to my partner. I'm not taking away his ability to have children. We've both agreed we don't want to have children. If he doesn't want to have children, I'm not taking that away from him.
To be fair, I did say he's a pathetic simp. So, I mean, that's right in line with being a pathetic simp. You just,
I think he would just respect women's choices.
Until I die. It's just, you guys are selfish materialists is what I'm getting. Life is about me and my comfort and what I want and my, I live for me every day. I wake up with no thought of the future or any duties or responsibilities I have to anyone other than myself, and that's great. So it's like, if you want to live that way, I guess, but I'm just looking at you and I'm listening to you and I'm wondering where this entitlement and this sense of confidence is coming from.
I'm entitled because I don't want to have children and I like when men pay on first dates. That's entitlement.
Well, what are you useful for?
I would say that women have intrinsic value.
What are you specifically?
Well, I'm a woman, so I have intrinsic value. Sad that you don't see that.
Why? How?
Because I'm a person and everyone
bleeding?
everyone has value. It depends on who's looking at you.
Do men have intrinsic value?
Yeah, they do, but I said that it's different. It's a different type of value.
But feminism is about equality. So if it's different, then how is that equal?
No, they can be equal in the sense of they can both work. You can be a stay-at-home mom and not pursue a career. That's fine, but women should have the opportunity and the choice.
So do you think women should work too?
Women should be allowed to work.
No, I mean, like, in your relationship, if you're not raising kids, should you both, in your marriage, let's say you get married, have a job, both of you?
Yeah, but I think that a woman's job could be a little less harsh, I guess. Like, women shouldn't have to go work some 9 to 5 and do this climbing of a corporate ladder. But like for myself, I've found a job that allows me to stay home and is not super strenuous. And I think that a lot of women should be able to have the option to either stay at home or work.
What would you do?
Lol Paladins donated $69. W to Rachel. L to fat prostitute feminists who have no value and TikTok he whores who hate men and provide no value to society. The problem is they had mothers, but their mothers are bad people.
My mother's amazing, and I love her very much.
It's wild to me because you asked, do I hear how my husband talks to women? I actually
Giovanni
think he's
JD
way too
donated
nice.
$69. Don't forget,
There's two more
first
coming
shared
in.
it as well,
Thank you, Jim.
including BG, and said she couldn't remember if she ever did B/B/G. Pretty sure anyone that's got gangbanged and posted it would remember.
I have not gotten gangbanged, and BBG is not the same thing as a gangbang, but okay.
Threesome. Have you done a threesome?
Not two guys.
GMD Jim donated $69. You called him your partner. Partners split expenses.
Two more
He
after
is
this.
not your husband. He could just hire a cleaner and a prostitute
Thank you, Jim.
with a nice body. You are just too ungrateful, leech.
I don't think he would agree with that, but okay.
There's another one coming in. Random Bear.
Random
thank you.
_ bear donated $69.
And one
Rachel
more.
be like, I got out of bed for this, and look this good. I will bring the heat.
We must.
I look terrible.
No.
Terrible, but thank you. It's fine. It's
Wait,
fine.
you're shaking your head. A star. That's not very judgment.
Judgment.
Also,
Love your
Rachel looks very dapper. Rachel looks very dapper.
Jeff
I
Bader
literally just
donated
put on face
$200.
cream and was
Rachel is
tucking myself
Titus
into bed, and
2:45.
Andrew comes upstairs. So
Rachel is Titus 2:45. What's that?
that's the Titus 2 wife. It's like a description of like what an honorable woman is and how she acts and operates in the world. So thank you. That's a lovely compliment. I certainly have my flaws. It's not like I'm over here being a perfect wife or anything, but the point is I try and I care about,
Brian's
trying to
lint
do
roller
something
donated
useful.
$69. Rachel is out of the kitchen, but she's still fugging, cooking.
Okay. Now, since Rachel also came down, she wanted to address, I guess, your criticisms. You said, Andrew, he has animosity towards women and that he hates women.
Yes, and so does she. And
Captain
Oh, boy.
donated
Oh, boy.
$69.
Found someone just
I
as
definitely
mean-spirited.
take a bullet for the girl in the white crop top. This girl is based and hot. The world needs more of that. She'd be a great woman for any man.
Or girl.
I want to address the gal with
I'll
the pink
pause the
hair real quick
TTS.
because I did hear her say that. It is not hatred to criticize women. It is in no way hateful to notice when women are acting like entitled narcissists and to call them out on that. Like I said, all the women at this table could tell me all night long about what they think they deserve and what their rights are and what they should have and what they ought be able to do. But none of you can tell me what duties, responsibilities, or obligations you have outside of yourself to society, to the people around you. You would say things like, I'm smart and I'm funny and I'm just a really great person and I'm a good friend and, all these worthless platitudes. But there's no like sacrifice. You don't ever feel you need to sacrifice anything for anyone outside yourself. You're not willing to have sleepless nights so that you can raise babies and produce human beings that are gonna go out into the world and have a legacy and have an effect, right? You're not really willing to do much of anything unless it benefits you. And then if someone questions, if Andrew comes on here and says, let me poke around and see why you think these things. Let me see if there's any logic behind your beliefs. Let me see if you even understand why you believe the things you believe. You think that's hateful. You think that's misogynistic. You think he's mean. No, it's just that you're used to being treated like a child princess and being carried around on a cushy little pillow in life with absolutely no opposition, with nobody ever going, hey, wait, what are you doing? What are you providing in life? What are you doing for anyone else outside yourself? You haven't ever been challenged on anything because you're a pretty girl, right? I'm young and
not
I'm cute.
true.
Why
You
are
don't
you
know
questioning me? Why are you so hateful? Where's all the trauma? No, I'm just a 44-year-old woman who's actually lived, raised 5 children, worked really hard in my life for everything I have. I take care of, other family members. I help at my church. I do things that aren't just for me. So when I see girls that behave this way and have this mentality, you're damn right I'm going to come on here and say some shit, especially if I get dragged out of bed to defend, this little girl that's saying my husband must be traumatized and hates women. It's just garbage. You're full of shit. You have no idea what you're talking about.
So these are
I
the
hope
people
that
of
helps.
the Orthodox Church? You guys seem lovely. I would love to go to the Orthodox Church.
I think you're upset
so
because
sweet and loving.
coming from someone
Lovely.
who I know personally, I'm not a 10. I am very self-aware in that regard. I think that there might be animosity coming from you because you're maybe not as good looking.
Oh, I'm definitely not. I've been on the show. I've rated myself.
Whoa, that was very, very rude.
Yeah.
I feel like you can express your opinions without necessarily like dragging, another person. I don't think that's nice. Personally, right, I feel like we can't exactly say that men and women are equal. What I mean is, men have their roles to play in a relationship, in a family, in a home setting, while women also have their roles to play, right? So we have some women that want to be stay-at-home moms to take care of the family and all of that. And yeah, that's fine, while the men go out to work and all. And then we also have some women who don't want to be stay-at-home mom. They want to be career women and all, but then they still birth children, and they still carry out some other roles while they have their spouses and their partners to actually help them. I think there are some roles that men carry out that a woman, not that she's not able to do it, but it's just meant for the man. That's what he's meant to do in that particular relationship or family setting. And I think that's what helps in balancing out the family, because if everybody is trying to be equal, I don't think the family is going to be like balanced. I just feel like, it's going to be moving to one side. Everybody is, going to be trying to be dominating the other person and all of that. So yeah, that's what I feel. And I feel like this last statement that she made was really not necessary. I mean, she's a 44-year-old woman. She has given birth. You don't expect her to look how she was looking when she was in her 20s. It's definitely not possible. So yeah, guys, what do you guys think?
Rachel is right, because you don't expect 50-50. A woman cannot be equal to a man.
Yeah.
So you going on the first date and you feel a man must pay for the first date. That's if you are ready to become a wife. That's when you should pay for the first date. So I feel there's no animosity here. Like, I don't.
But I grew up in an era where we didn't all think we were models. When you were growing up in the 80s and 90s, everyone didn't think they were a 10. Like, all of us girls who were not going to have modeling careers or be the hot cheerleader, we all knew that, and we were fine with it. And we didn't think we deserved 6 foot, 6-pack, 6-figure man. We were just like happy to meet a nice boy who liked us back. This was before
But you're
Instagram
calling
and all
those
this
boys
crazy narcissistic
simps.
insanity. Huh?
You're calling those boys simps.
No, I'm calling your boy a simp. He's a simp. That's simp. A nice boy who likes you isn't the same thing as some absolute goober who's going to pay for all your crap.
He's not paying for
expect
everything.
anything.
I'm just saying at the beginning of the relationship, on the first couple dates, a man should take the investment and pay for the first couple dates.
She's not paying for everything. She said that his family's paying for some.
Yeah.
And I think it's only fair that I pay a portion of rent,
For a girlfriend?
mortgage.
You're not even married. Why would his family pay for your stuff? You're not
They're
married
not.
to this
He
guy.
said that
They're
his
not.
brother or something about
They
the
all
apartment.
own
like a
a
Nepo
home,
family.
and I help with
She pays the water
some
bill.
of the bills.
She pays some of the mortgage.
I pay some of the mortgage.
She pays the
that's not
water
even
bill.
my question is, it's not even fitting to the dynamic that you're expressing so much interest in. Like, you're expressing so much interest in not only the first dates, but that you also want to be supported by this person. And this
I don't
dynamic,
think that means not paying any bills or doing any sort of housework or like helping in the relationship. Like, I don't think that it's entitled. I just think that it's a better dynamic long term for a man who has the financial stability to be with them rather than a man who doesn't have any sort of future plan to provide for you.
Do you think the woman needs a future plan, though?
I think that women should, and this might be controversial too. Is she gone?
She's here.
She's still here?
She's still here.
Oh, okay. I think it might be controversial, but I think women, even if they're not working a traditional 9 to 5, should have some sort of money saved up separate from their husbands in case there's domestic violence or there's divorce or things like that. Like, you should have some of your own income.
I don't think you need a keepsake of, like, if there's domestic violence. I think, like, you need to be contributing. Yeah, like, you should feel safe in your relationship and, like, pick something. If you want a job, and that's equal. Or you could do the equal housework and have kids. Like, there's an equality thing that's different. Feminists believe that there's equality, but you're talking about things not being equal.
I think it is equal. Like, I am
going to jump off here because Andrew's going to come back, and I am actually going to go to bed. But does anybody have any, like, final questions or phones to pick it
I
up?
think Star back there had like a thing she wanted to come back and say.
I'm just curious if anyone on the...
Sorry, what?
I really don't have anything to say.
Oh.
I'm just curious if anyone else on the show has brought up, like, internalized misogyny to you.
Yeah, I get it every day of my life. So you don't know my background,
okay.
but I wrote a book about the history of feminism and how almost everything that the normal person thinks about it is actually wrong. The way that the feminist liberation movements unfolded is garbage that was rewritten history by women's studies departments. And I debate feminists all the time, so this is normal for me. Of course, I've heard absolute garbage bullshit like internalized misogyny. It's not a thing. It doesn't exist. It's pure cope.
Okay.
I love women, but I do think that women have proper roles. And I think that the biggest problem, the problem with you and most of the other girls that have a problem with me, is that you don't understand that this modern world and all this beautiful technology around you that you're sitting in right now, if it weren't for men building that and maintaining that, you would have no illusion of being able to be a strong, independent woman and have all these choices and do what you want.
But why do men do all of that?
They do it because they're benevolent and they are good. Isn't that crazy? They're actually really nice and they care about us even though they don't have to.
But they're getting something out of you.
If men were as bad and misogynistic as you think, they would put us in cages and we'd be, baby farms. There would be baby farms.
I think you might be a little bit of a baby farm.
Because they could. No, they could.
You're a bit of a baby farm. Haven't you popped out 5 children?
Yeah.
You're
I'm
a baby
mother.
farm.
Oh.
I think that's the ultimate form of sex work, actually.
What's that?
I think that you popping out 5 children is the ultimate form of sex work because without those children, would your husband provide for you?
Degrading language. Wait a minute. Why are you using degrading language? Popping out babies. Popping out babies? So you're against people having babies?
If you didn't provide children, would your husband marry you?
No.
Exactly.
Why should he?
Exactly. So you're a baby farm to him.
Marrying someone is also about starting a family.
Yeah, a family.
These are my children
baby
too.
Farm.
You
essentially.
should be so lucky because you're gonna die alone.
Okay.
Early.
Thank you so
early
much.
On top of that. So
thank you so much.
I mean, if you would you like me to go wake up my children and get them down here too, so you can tell them that they're like gross little.
I don't think it's appropriate.
That
I don't think it's really appropriate.
Them out. That they're the result of baby farm. I mean, take your little snarky little insults and shove them up your ass because
Do you think your parents did that?
It's women like me who are doing
my parents only
what
had
women
one
are supposed
child.
to do.
My parents
You
only
are
had
useless. You are a useless heifer who has never done anything except
You're
gratify your own
great
desire.
woman.
Be
You're a
nice.
very godly woman, aren't
Both
you?
of you be nice.
You started it. Hey, you can dish it out, but you can't
I
take
started it. Didn't you come on? You're talking about McFlurries or something.
You called me a baby farm, and now you're going to pretend to be offended? Get the fuck
I
out.
said you're the ultimate sex worker, actually.
Okay.
she's a
Yeah,
mother.
me being
She's a
devoted to
mother.
one man for 17 years and giving him
You're the
children as
ultimate.
sex work.
You're the
Okay.
ultimate
So
sex
your parents
worker.
are also part of a baby farm because you were born.
My mom had one child and she
What does that
also
have to
worked.
do?
But I know that my parents would have gotten married without having to have children.
If I milk a cow, the cow's still providing milk, though, even if I
On the
only milk
farm.
him once. So you're
Now
calling
look, We don't believe that marriage is only for the purpose of children. Had we gotten married and for some reason biologically I couldn't, I had a medical issue and could not give Andrew children, he would not have divorced me and he would not have left me. That's not what we believe in. We believe that marriage is also a sacrament of our church. You don't get divorced for a reason like that. However, why would a man marry a woman who's giving him nothing like you are? You don't bring
So you just don't
anything
value
to the man except
you don't value women for just being us. Like you just don't.
I value people, but that's different than what a man would want to get married for. Why do you not understand these basic distinctions?
A man could want to get married without wanting to have children, but that's not what your husband did with you, honey.
No man does that except for a simp. Or some guy who's just some men
just don't want to have
who doesn't want a family.
Sweetie. Sorry.
Sweetie, honey. Yeah, I love these feminists are always, sweetie, honey. They get so sassy, but this is going to be
You're
Clip's
very
gold.
sassy.
Yeah, well, listen, I was dragged out of bed because you're sitting here insulting my husband and saying, oh, your wife must be some victim or there must be trauma. Maybe your wife is bad to you. You're saying all kinds of personal garbage. And then when I come on here and tell you what's what, you're like, how dare she? She's so mean. She's not a good Christian. It's like, well, then don't say this stupid shit, lady. Don't come on here and talk a bunch of smack. And then when I come down here and set you straight, you're like, oh, I'm shocked and offended.
You definitely didn't set anyone straight.
Oh, well, the chat disagrees with you. And it's straight, not straight.
What do you have?
Do this
I think
weird thing where they say strawberry.
You're just pandering.
I think it shows the type of woman you are, the fact that you got out of bed and came down here to not only defend your husband, but to defend women at the right instinct that they should be in. So
the main reason I do the stuff I do is because I was really shamed for not going down a career path. I had a full college scholarship that I declined because I wanted to be a mom instead, and everyone around me thought it was some massive tragedy, that I was going down the wrong path, I was going to regret not being a career babe. Everybody said, oh, it's such a shame you're just a mom. And turns out there's nothing I could have done with my life that's more meaningful than having 5 children, raising them well, and being a good mom. There's nothing I could do in the career world that's going to last the way that will have a lasting impact in this world. And I was shamed for it, and I was made to feel like, oh, I was losing somehow in life. So yeah, I don't want other women to feel that way. I want to stick up for women who do want to be good wives, who do want to be good mothers, who think that that's a worthwhile thing to do with their lives, and not have them be subject to being called baby factories by disrespectful, chunky heifers with attitude problems who can't even properly articulate a single thought in their head. So with that, I'm going to go to bed, and you guys can talk to the nice Wilson instead. Maybe you'll feel better now when he comes back.
Continue pandering to men.
Rachel?
Whoa. That was crazy.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think?
That was hot. That was hot.
Oh my God.
I love what she did. I love what she said. No woman can take that from another woman insulting her husband. It's wrong.
Yeah.
I love what she did. I love it. I wish she can just come back and give it to her like 3 or 4 more words. I think it's okay.
To set us straighter.
Rachel did not only come out to defend her husband, she still came out to let women know that becoming a mother is supposed to be a thing of joy.
Yeah.
As a woman, there's no joy apart from becoming a mother, having your kids, becoming a good wife, supporting your husband at home. You can't just be in a marriage without giving anything out to your husband. You can't be expecting your husband to pay your bills and do everything when you're not showing any support. So I feel women need to, all those feminists, they need to get that thing straight.
Yeah.
You can't be expecting the man to be working, doing all the hard work, doing all the hard labor, where you can't do anything. Okay, now she's saying she work from the house. She's her job is at home, a stay-at-home job, and the man is the one working. Okay, you can't be working from the house. You're not willing to contribute anything in a relationship. It's not that they are even married. They are still in a relationship.
Yeah.
And you are expecting things from a man you're not giving anything. So a relationship is supposed to be 50-50. You're supposed to help each other, support each other. You can't leave all the work to the men. Like what Rachel said now. Her husband is working. She's at home. She takes care of the kids. She do all the house chores. She performs her wife duties because she's a wife and she's a good wife and a good mother with what I see here. So you can't be in a relationship. You're having like this ego as a feminist, like, no, I'm supposed to, and like I'm a boss chick, you know. So that's what most girls get now. So I think Rachel is right and she's wrong, like wrong. She needs like help. She needs to change all the mentality, all the things she's thinking. She needs to change.
Yeah, I feel like I actually agree with what you guys said. I feel like the lady in white, right? I feel like she's just very entitled. I mean, even if let's say you're in a relationship with somebody and that person decides to do some things for you, it doesn't mean that you should now be entitled and now see it as I'm meant to receive this particular stuff because I'm in a relationship with this person. That's not how it works. Some guys are just naturally loving and yeah, they will give you stuff without you even having to ask. Not because it is how it is meant to be, but because that's what they want to do. I mean, you're not even his wife yet. You're just his partner. His partner that you guys can even break up tomorrow or something. Mm-hmm. And then you are feeling entitled and even saying stuff like you expect that he should take care of some of your bills. Why? You're not his wife yet. I mean, calm down, chill. And then she has no right to call Rachel a baby factory. You can't call someone that is a wife and decided to be a mother a baby factory. Yeah. Or a sex worker. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even, I feel like she's not thinking straight. She has a very entitled mentality and she needs to actually, get rid of that mentality. If not, she's going to be lonely for a very long time. That's what I feel.
Because they are living like roommates.
Basically,
they're not living like partners.
Yeah.
They're living like roommates. And even if you are living like roommates, you're supposed to be working with your roommates, be like supporting your roommates. So I think this is really not good. And she's saying her mom did wrong. I think this mentality, everything started from childhood. Her mom didn't like train her, maybe the kind of family she came out from.
Probably.
So I think Rachel is raising her kids in a good way. She's not raising her kids to become feminist. So I think we should learn from her.
All right, guys. So yeah, that's what we think about this particular video. We'd like to know what you think about this video. So please drop a comment in the comment section. And also, please don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, and also subscribe to this channel for more videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.